Hi, I am that I am. The I am is inside of you, just the I am is inside of me. The I am has sent me, just the I am has sent you, because that's all there is a one creator, one love, one source of all. Ego sum id, ego sum. So now we're actually covering the book of Genesis and all of the name meanings. So this one's actually going to be in a couple of parts. That said, let's get started. First, we have Adam, which Adam means red earth or son of the red earth, man formed from the earth. That has to do with the conscious mind. And then we have Eve. Eve means to live or living, which means life or life source. Has to do with the subconscious mind. Then we have Cain, which Cain means to acquire or possess, possessor. And then next we have Abel, Havel, which means breath or vapor or transient. Then we have Seth, which means appointed or a substitute. And next, after Seth, we have Enosh. Enosh means man or mortal man. And then Canaan actually means possession or acquired, just like Cain does essentially. And then Mahalel actually means praise of I am. So that's God's name is I am. So praise of El, praise of I am, praise of breath, praise of love. Then we have Jared or Yared, which means to descend or descent. And then we have Enoch, which means to dedicate or initiate, so initiated or dedicated. Then we have Methuselah, which Methuselah means death death shall send, excuse me. When he dies, it shall be sent. That has to do with your old conscious sense of self, essentially. Lamech is powerful or the strong, followed by Noah, which means rest or comfort. After Noah, we have Shem, which Shem means name or renown. Then we have Ham, which means hot, warm, or burnt. Then we have Japheth, which means to enlarge or expansion, enlargement. And then we have Nimrod, which means to rebel, or we shall rebel. Then we have Peleg, which actually means to divide or division, followed by Eber, which actually means to cross over or crossing over. Then we have Terah, which means delay or wanderer, followed by Abram, or Abraham, goes on to Abraham rather. So Abram means exalted father, and then Abraham means father of the multitude. So after Abram and Abraham, which Abram means exalted father and Abraham means father of multitude, father of many nations, then we actually have Sarah, or Sarai, which actually comes from Sar, which means prince or ruler. So Sarai and Sarah means my princess, and then princess of nations, princess of the multitude. Then we actually have Lot, which Lot actually has to do with veil or hidden covering. Then we have Ishmael, which Ishmael comes from Sama, which means to hear, which I am hears, or God hears, because God is the spirit in all of us, and God always hears. Your spirit always hears all that's going on. Then we have Hagar, which Hagar is to flee, or flight, or sojourner. Then we have Isaac, which Isaac is to laugh, or he laughs. Then we have Rebecca, which Rebecca is to tie firmly, bound or tied. Then we have Keturah, which is to smoke or incense, fragrance, which actually has to do with extra senses, using your senses within prayer and manifestation. Then we have Esau, which Esau has to do with hairy, rough. That also has to do with your senses, and that's actually more feeling of your faith in things being true. Then we have Jacob, which Jacob means supplanter, or he who grasps the heel. That's supplanting the old ways of being. And then the Jacob becomes Israel, which is he who struggles with God, he who struggles with I am, he who struggles with breath. And so right there, you become the supplanter whenever you start to utilize your breath as salvation. Then we have Leah, which Leah actually has to do with weary or tired. Then we have Rachel, which Rachel has to do with ewe, or lamb, a female sheep. Then we have Reuben, which is to see the sun, to see a son, or see a son. Then we have Simeon, which is Leah's second son, which is to hear and hearing. Then we have Levi, which is to join or the joined. Then we have Judah, Yehuda, which actually means praise. And that's like to give thanks to God, to give thanks to I am, to give thanks to the one creator source that's within all. Then we have Dan, which Dan is judge. And then we have Naphtali, which is to wrestle or my wrestling. Now we have Gad, which Gad means fortune or troop. Then we have Asher, which Asher means to be happy or to be blessed, happy and blessed. Issachar actually is he is wages or reward. Then we have Zebulun, which is dwelling or exaltation, followed by, here we go, Joseph, which means he will add, he will increase. Then we have the Ishmaelites, which means descendants of I am, here's, descendants of Ishmael. Then we have the Midianites, which is strife or contention. Then we have Potiphar, which is given of I am, or given of the creator. So here it uses the name Ra, but we know that there's only one source, and it was, again, we had one language that got scattered. So right there, talking about that. Then we have Pharaoh, which represents the great house. Then we have Zephanath Paneah, which is revealer of hidden things, or savior of the world, revealer of secrets. Then we have Asenath, which is belonging to Neath. Neath is actually weaver of creation, the female goddess. Again, that's the representation of the creative source of love divine that's within all and made all. Again, one language that got scattered. Then we have Manasseh, which Manasseh is causing to forget. Then we have Ephraim, which is doubly fruitful, followed by Goshen, which is approaching or plenty, drawing near or cultivated land. Then we have Machpelah, which is double or fold, or to double, to fold. Then we actually have right there Egypt or Mizraim, which is double straits or land of confinement, fortress, or a narrow place. Thank you so much for tuning in. And with that being said, stay living, stay blessed.